coverage can vary from 0 to 100% and can vary across months. So the producer here can cover production in anywhere from 1 to 10 months or 2 to 11 months into the future. Again, so that is the producer determines how long a particular contract covers his or her production. That is a decision variable facing the operator. Again, another dimension of decision making that has to occur when utilizing LGM versus MPP. How much milk can be insured? Well, as I indicated, under MPP, a producer must establish an annual production history. I'm going to ignore new producers for the moment. That's the topic for another day. But let's assume we have an ongoing operation, and that operation has to establish an annual production history, which by statute is the maximum amount of production that occurred in calendar years 11, 12, and 13. 11, 12, and 13. And that APH will only be adjusted, not subject to what the producer does, but what happens to the overall level of production in the U.S. dairy industry. And I'll go through that in a minute. But again, that APH is important because the producer is limited. If he or she wants to participate in MPP, must insure anywhere from 25% to 90% of the APH. So the higher that APH, the greater the pounds for the same percentage, the greater pounds of milk that can be covered. And the implicit assumption here is that the percent of milk covered is the same for all months, for all 12 months. So that protection is evenly distributed across the months of production. And the implicit assumption here by the MPP program structure is that the same amount of production happens every month regardless of the season and regardless of the number of days in the month. And we know that's not entirely true. There is some differences due to the spring flush and February versus months that have 31 days, but for this MPP program, these differences are assumed away. Under LGM, the amount that can be insured is 0 to 100% of approved target marketings, which are that approval is obtained from the delivery of production delivery records to RMA after the program is issued. Again, that 0 to 100%. Again, 0 is a possibility, which means there's no coverage in that month. Obviously, up to 100, you cannot insure more than 100% than your approved target marketings, which is based on the previous year's production. Okay. The percent milk covered can vary across months. So again, you can anywhere from 0 to 100%. And again, if you have a couple of positive percentages early on and everything else being zero, then you're really having a very short LGM contract. As I indicated before, multiple contracts can cover a month's production until 100% of that month's production is insured. So again, you can adjust your position in terms of the level of protection for a share of a month's production by not covering 100% with a particular single contract, but purchasing less than 100% of that production over multiple contracts. So again, significant difference versus MPP, because remember, under LGM, the premiums and the derivable margins